everyone, and welcome to our final storytelling session of this week. I do hope you've enjoyed it and have had fun travelling all around the world with Sarah. Now, I think it's time to pass over to Sarah because she's got a lovely couple of stories and a song to sing you, but I have no idea where in the world she's taking us. So, Sarah, over to you to explain what we're doing today.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to old friends and welcome to new friends. And well, today, as you know, we're going to finish our journey around the world. And of course, we've got to get back home. So have a look around the room this morning and you might see some friends that you recognise. We've got Toad here, and we've got Moley, and we've got Badger and Ratty, creatures who live along the riverbank, who in fact live along the river that flows through Oxford, the River Thames. So they're all waiting to welcome you when you get back home. But first, there are lots of other animals here, and we've got a long way to go. We might even be travelling some of that journey by river. Who knows? But first, it's time for our stretch, because I've got to wake up those story muscles. So are you ready? Stretch up tall and high as a house. Now, curl up round and small as a mouse. Now, pretend you are a drum and beat a tune. Tum, 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 tum. Shake those hands. Oh, that feels good. Stamp those feet. Don't close your eyes and go to sleep. No, because I've got a wonderful story to tell you. And we're going to start our story journey in Germany. Okay, you ready? Oh, I think I might ring the story bell, because that's a little way from home, isn't it? So you might take a little while to travel there. Hey, you travelling to Germany for me? I hope so. I hope so. Right. Now we've arrived on a farm in Germany. And I want you to imagine that you're an old donkey. Yes, an old donkey. Eeyore! And one day you hear your master say, "Oh, that old donkey, he's useless. He's so old he can't even drag a cart. No, he's not worth the hay I feed him anymore. No, it's time for that old donkey to go." How would you feel if you were that donkey? Sad, yes, sad, and a bit hard done by, I think. And our donkey, he felt all those things. But he also had spirit. And he said, "Eeyore, Eeyore, I may be old, I may not be strong enough to drag a cart, but I've still got a fine singing voice, good as any trumpeter. I'll form a travelling band, Eeyore!" And off he clattered out of the farmyard and down the road. Well, our old donkey hadn't gone very far when who should he meet but a dog. Yes, here he is. Say hello to dog. Well, that old dog, though, looked very hard on his luck. His tail was down, his head was down, and when donkey saw him, he said, "Eeyore, whatever's the matter with you, my good man?" "Oh," said the dog, "oh, I'm old, and my master, who's a huntsman, says I'm no good at chasing anything anymore, so I'm not even worth the meat he feeds me, and it's precious little." "Why, dog, that is too bad. Can you sing?" "Can I sing?" said the dog. And immediately his tail perked up and his ears perked up, and he gave the most glorious woof, 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 woof. Oh, dog with a voice like that. People will pay good money to hear you. Come, join my travelling band. And one happy dog trotted off with our donkey down the road. But they hadn't gone very far when who should they meet? Who should they meet but an old cat? An old cat. And this old cat looked even harder on her luck than the dog had been. And when the donkey saw her, oh, he felt very sorry. Eeyore, my friend, whatever's the matter with you? Oh, said the cat. Oh, I'm old and all my teeth have fallen out and my mistress says I'm no good at mousing anymore and she won't even give me that little bit of milk to drink. Oh. Why, cat, that is too bad, too bad. Can you sing? When the cat heard that question, just like the dog, her tail pricked up, her ears pricked up, and she gave the most glorious meow. Oh, cat, with operatic tones like that, there'll be people coming from all over the world to listen to you. Oh, will you join my travelling band? And the cat, oh so happy, said yes. And the cat went trotting along after the dog, who went trotting along after our donkey down the road. They hadn't gone very far when who should come dashing into them, almost bumping into them, but Cockerel. That's right. Well, Cockerel was in a terrible hurry, and Donkey was quite surprised. Cockerel, Cockerel, whatever's the matter with you? Oh, said the Cockerel, oh, my masters had guests round for dinner and there was nothing to eat and so he said he'd put me in the pot, so I've run away. Oh, Cockerel, said Donkey, that is too bad. Well, we don't need to ask you whether you can sing because we hear you every morning. Come, join our travelling band. And the Cockerel was so happy he did sing. Cock-a-doodle-doo, he said, and he fell in behind the cat, who trotted along after the dog, who trotted along after our donkey, down the road. By now, it was growing quite dark. Yes, the moon was coming up in the sky, and our animals had travelled a long way, and they were feeling hungry. But nothing to worry about because they had Donkey with them, our fine-spirited donkey, and he'd been keeping an eye open, and he'd spotted a light. He'd spotted a light amongst the trees. And he said to his friends, "Hey, all, I can see a light over there. A light in the woods means a cottage, and a light in a cottage means there's someone at home. Come, 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 let's gather outside that house and sing. When they hear our voices, they're sure to give us warm straw to bed in and something nice for our supper. Hey, all!" And all the animals agreed that would be a wonderful idea. So very soon they were gathered outside the window of that house, all ready to sing. Now, I hope you're going to help them. So, you need to decide whether for this morning you're going to be a cat, meow, or a dog, woof, or a chosen? Great. Okay, I'm going to be a donkey and I'm going to conduct. So, to begin, I would like a note from the cats. Off you go, cats. Meow. Beautiful. And now I'd like a little bit of bass from those dogs. Are you ready? Woof, 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 woof. Fantastic. And cockerels, can I have a little aria, please? Cockerel. And now donkeys, you help me. We need a rhythm section. E-or, 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 E-or. Suddenly, the door of that cottage opened and out ran 5 ugly men, bags in one hand, knives in the other, and they ran off into the trees. Wow, what a thing! That gave our animals a bit of a fright, but the donkey collected himself. Hey, all! I think they must have been robbers. Oh, that type never do appreciate good music. The dog had something else on his mind. Oh, I don't know about that, he said, but I can smell stew. Meaty stew. And it would be a crime to leave a nice meaty stew uneaten. Well, all our friends agreed. And soon they were gathered together at a long table, tucking in to a delicious warm meaty stew. And there was even a little bit of corn for the cockerel. And when they'd eaten their fill, tired as they were, they began to feel quite sleepy. Then our cat said, meow, I can see that there's still a glow in that fire. Oh, it would be a crime. It would be a crime not to take advantage of that warmth. So I shall go and curl up and fall asleep on the hearth. And that's what she did. She went and curled up by those embers, and the cockerel, he flew up into the rafters of the house. He landed on a nice beam, perfect place for him to sleep. And the dog went to sleep by the door. And the donkey, who was feeling poetic tonight, he went to sleep outside and under the stars. Soon everything was quiet in that house, and the fire had almost died down when the door opened and one of those robbers walked back in. Now, the robber, of course, he knew his cottage very well, and he had a little stub of candle in his pocket. And thinking he could light it in those last few embers, he went over to the fireplace and, not really looking, he poked it down and straight into the cat's face. Now, if you poke something into a cat's face, what does it do? Yes! Went the cat, and it scratched that man. Oh! He cried and jumped back. And that woke up the cockerel. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Screeched the cockerel. Said the man, and he ran towards the door. But who was by the door? The dog. And if you run into a dog, what does it do? It bites. Like the man clutching his leg, and he ran out that door as fast as he could, but straight into the donkey. And oh dear me, if you startle a donkey, what happened? You get a kick in the bottom. That poor man. You have to feel sorry for him. He was terrified, and he fled. He fled into that forest. When at last he refound his friends, he was still shaking. Oh, he said, I'm never going back there. I'm never going back there. It's haunted. Yes, there's a witch by the fire, and she scratched me, and a demon in the rafters who screeched at me, and a goblin by the door who bit me, and outside there's a monster. Oh, I'm not going back there, not for any amount of gold. And all his friends agreed it was far too dangerous. So our friends went to live in that cottage. Yes, they set up house there, and very happy they were too. And they practiced their music for an hour every day, as you should. And soon they really were very, very good. And they played at concerts and fairs and in marketplaces all round the world. Yeah, they became famous. You might even have heard of them. Shall I tell you what they're called? The Musicians of Bremen. So there you are. And if ever you are in Germany and you happen upon the town of Bremen, do look out for them. But there's a wonderful sculpture in the marketplace of a donkey and a dog and a cat and a cockerel, our 4 friends. Now, let me ring the story bell because we've got some more friends to visit before we get home. Send that away. Because I want to introduce you to an old woman called Miss Emmeline Arbuckle. And this is a story about pets. Because I've got a pet. I've got a cat. His name's Leo, and we're great friends. And I'm sure some of you have pets, and some of you might want to have pets. And this is a story all about choosing a pet. So this story might help you. Okay. Miss Emmeline Arbuckle, she wanted a pet. Yes, she wanted a pet to talk to and to take care of. Miss Emmeline Arbuckle told the ginger cat from down the road that she wanted a pet. And the ginger cat from down the road said, of course you do. Yes, so you must advertise. Miss Arbuckle put an advertisement in the local paper. This is what it said. Wanted a pet for an old woman, a nice old woman, very good home. Miss Arbuckle, as you can imagine, received applications from animals all over the world. What do I do now? She asked the ginger cat. You must go and interview them. And I shall come with you. A second opinion is always useful. Meow. So Miss Arbuckle and the ginger cat, they packed their bags and they set off for Africa. They were going to Africa to meet a giraffe. That's right, a giraffe. Oh. And when they arrived, that giraffe was busy eating leaves. Then he stopped for a moment and said to Miss Arbuckle, "Oh, Miss Arbuckle, I'm sorry, I really must finish my breakfast, but do come up and we'll have a little chat." So Miss Arbuckle and the ginger cat, they climbed up that tree. And then the giraffe said, "Now, Miss Arbuckle, I should make a simply splendid pet. You see, with my long neck, I'd be able to look over the garden fence and tell you what your neighbours were doing." Oh, giraffe, I should like that. But the ginger cat had other ideas. Miss Arbuckle, trees need their leaves, and what would garden be like if none of your trees had tops to them? Well, Miss Arbuckle hadn't thought of that, but she realised it might not be very nice. And so she thanked our giraffe, and she said bye-bye to him, and she left him to eat his leaves quietly. Whoop. And then Miss Arbuckle and the ginger cat, they packed their bags and they set off for California. California in the United States of America. They'd gone to California to visit a whale. Yes. And when the whale saw them coming, he raised his enormous body out of the water and said, because that's what whales do, "Miss Arbuckle, I should make a simply splendid pet. Yes, if you had me for a pet, you'd be famous overnight. I'm sure none of your neighbours have whales in their gardens." Oh, Miss Arbuckle was very impressed. "I like your type, whale. Oh yes, and I should feel so safe with a whale in my garden." But the ginger cat wasn't so sure. "Yeah, I don't think so, Miss Arbuckle. Have you thought how big a whale is? You would have to knock down your house to build a swimming pool for it." Well, Miss Arbuckle hadn't thought about that, and she could see it was a problem, and so she thanked the whale and said bye-bye. And then Miss Arbuckle and the ginger cat, they packed their bags and they set off. They set off for Canada. They were going to Canada to meet a big brown bear. Just say hello to the bear. Oh, he's very friendly. Very friendly. And when the bear saw Miss Arbuckle, he said, "Oh, I should be a wonderful pet. I'm so furry and friendly. You'll never meet a furrier, friendlier pet than me." Miss Arbuckle, she looked at the bear and she said, "Oh, you do look very cozy and cuddly, yes." But the ginger cat had other ideas. "Miss Arbuckle, meow, no. Let me warn you, bear hugs can be very nasty things in hot weather." Miss Arbuckle sighed, but she knew the cat was probably right. And she said bye-bye to that bear, though she was a bit sorry. Anyway, she had more places to go. So, whoop, she packed her bags and she set off because they had a long journey to make now. They were going all the way to Japan. They were going to Japan to meet a butterfly. That's right. And the butterfly was a little late for the meeting. She was having a touch of problem getting out of her cocoon. But when she did, she spread her wings and they shimmered in the sunshine. All the glorious tones of purple. She was magnificent. And she said to Miss Arbuckle, "Oh, Miss Arbuckle, I should make the loveliest pet. Yes, oh, I should. And you don't need to worry about getting tired of me because I only live for a few days." When Miss Arbuckle saw the butterfly, she smiled. "Oh, you are beautiful. You are exquisite. Oh, and purple is my very favourite colour." But our ginger cat, oh, he had other ideas. Miss Arbuckle, this simply won't do. moo, meow. No, no. Pets should go on day after day. They should eat regular meals and sleep in the same place every night. Oh, Ginger Cat, I suppose you're right. Sighed Miss Arbuckle. But she was feeling quite unhappy because, you see, there weren't many more animals to interview. She packed her bags and went off to see the very last one, a frog back in England. And when they arrived back, well, the frog was waiting patiently in a puddle. But when he saw them coming, oh, he woke up immediately and gave a glorious and said very proudly, I should make the most extraordinary pet. Oh, you'd be pleased with me. You see, I make such an unusual noise. And you could listen to me at night when you can't sleep. And he puffed himself up and let out a glorious. Well, Miss Arbuckle, she liked that idea. Why, frog, that would be simply splendid and would make a pleasant change from the radio. But the Ginger Cat had other ideas. Miss Arbuckle, this simply won't do. Pets and people should make their noises during the day and they should sleep at night. Meow! And Miss Arbuckle, well, she had to agree with the cat, but oh, she let a big sigh escape because that was the very last creature that she had to interview. Home she went. And when she got home, she made herself a cup of tea and she put in a big spoonful of sugar, as you do when you're feeling sad. She popped it down on a table. And then she poured a little saucer of milk and she gave it to the Ginger Cat. And she sat down in her rocking chair. And she said, oh, Ginger Cat, I suppose it's time for you to go home too now. The Ginger Cat said, Miss Arbuckle, I don't have a home. No. And I don't eat leaves. And I don't need a swimming pool. And I don't croak at night. And I'm small. And I'm soft. And I'm ever so smart. Miss Arbuckle had an idea. Ginger Cat, will you be my pet? And can you guess what the Ginger Cat did? The Ginger Cat jumped onto Miss Arbuckle's lap and he purred. Miss Arbuckle, I thought you'd never ask. Meow. So that's the story of Miss Arbuckle and her search for a pet. And I hope it helps you in your search for yours. And now I'm just going to ring the story bell to send that story out into the world. There it goes. Ooh. Off it travels. And it's time for us to sing a song. And I think we will end with a song for all the creatures in the world. Yes, all all the creatures in the big wide world through which we have been traveling, and that includes us. So, are you ready? I shall begin, and it's a very simple song, and you'll soon get the hang of it and you can join in. And this is how it starts. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands. Let me see you. Pause or anything they've got. It's a simple song of living sung everywhere by the ox, the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hawk above, the tall giraffe and the turtle dove. You're going to join in with me this time. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. You ready? Big clap. And some just clap their hands, pause, or anything they've got. And now we're going to end. Give yourself a great round of applause. Give yourself a great big clap, because you have been wonderful story listeners. You have. And you've been right around the world, some of you with me, which is fantastic. And all there is to say now, oh, it's sad to say goodbye, but it is time to say goodbye. So I say, stay well, share lots of story cheer, and I hope I shall see you all again very soon. So bye-bye, bye-bye.
Thank you, Sarah. What a wonderful way to end our week of storytelling. I do hope everybody has enjoyed themselves with us this week. But from me now, it's time to say goodbye as well. So we'll see you at the next festival. Bye.
Bye.